goal made and scored without Ronaldo or Bruno Fernandes involved. Underlining again just how much quality they do have. I'll remind you, not playing tonight: Nuno Mendes, Bernardo Silva, Gonzalo Ramos, Cancelo, Nunes, João Felix, Ruben Neves. It is some squad. Great hold-up play from Adams. Really disappointing pass from Nadi to follow. Vitinha with time to look up. Good news for Nigeria is that he's got backwards rather than forwards. 76th cap for Ruben Diaz tonight. New manager coming for him after the years of Pep Guardiola, of course, at Manchester City. Vitinha, lovely ball. And the first touch from Dalot was good too. The cutback was meant for Ronaldo. Well, now the flag goes up. That must have been tighter than the earlier one. They don't tend to put them up unless they're short. That would have needed a close look. Calvin Bassey was just delaying before he then got his toe in. It wasn't a great cutback, in fairness, from Dalot. Well, they're loving that. João Neves wins the free kick. Two of them. Not sure Iwobi needed to do that. He was always going to bring a whistle. For what it's worth, Nigeria are 6 unbeaten. They've won 9 of their last 12 all-in friendlies, competitive qualifiers. Beat Zimbabwe and Jamaica in London last month to retain the Unity Cup. Definitely upward, but it needed to be, because they were way below par for a good spell. Actually have been for too long, in relative terms. Gonzalo Inacio here to the goal scorer. Half an hour in. Pedro Neto. Fernandes. Dalot. So far off with the pass, the apology was much needed. That header brought Adams into the equation there. You've seen already from him half an hour in. He's big, 6'3" and physical. But, too physical on Inacio there. Just don't do it, however soft it may feel. He's running back towards his own byline. They just can't help themselves. 10 goals in La Liga last season for Sevilla, Cor Adams. 5 in just 14 caps for the Super Eagles. That is a good introduction. Another Forward run from Semedo. Well, he's got to be very careful. Onyemaechi there. Very careful, having been booked already. Don't think that Nelson Semedo doesn't know it. That is a seriously risky challenge, friendly or not. And you've already been carded. Now that left boot that scored the goal is going to take the free kick. 15 or so to go in this half. Delicately chipped into a big crowd and smashed by Bruno Fernandes. A more delicate but equally important touch from Maduka Okoye to keep it out. Cracking hit. Fernandes curls it in. Oh, it's a good chance. Nearly. We've seen that leap a few times. Just didn't loop. Two chances in the half for CR7. An agonising wait for international goal number 144. Onyemaechi will either have to be impeccably behaved now or substituted. Don't think he's going to get away with another one. Adams running that line again and well. Too tight, Nadi with the foul. I think you'd expect numbers like that. Tight technical side. There's one that went astray from Trincao. Didi doing what he's done very well for a very long time. Fredon Didi tidying up in central midfield. Just had his first season in Turkey at Beşiktaş. Following 8 years with Leicester City in England. Successive relegation from them to the third tier of the English game. And Didi was part of the side that played in the UEFA Champions League. Simon running at Ruben Dias and doing well. Ignacio was there with an important block because Adams was waiting for a relatively simple finish. Break could be on. Pedro Neto. Was a Didi again. Another immaculate, very necessary challenge. Trincao suddenly away from another challenge and battering it over the bar. He says it got a touch. And I think he's right. That it was given. Adams again Strong and keen, and here he is. Can he find the target? Yes, he can. 1-1. New on the scene, but quite the hot shot for the Super Eagles. Akor Adams. Barely been an international for 6 months. He's got his 6th international goal already. And it's his strength and perseverance that has made this one possible. Less than a minute after that big chance at the other end that should have been a Portugal corner. 1-1 in Ledia. And he continues to do what he can in the absence of Lookman and Osimhen. He looks like an awkward customer to defend against. Young and raw, certainly, but powerful and now on target. That's dampened the mood. Didi slipping it forward. Simon frustrated that he couldn't control. Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes again. Pedro Neto. Portugal flooding forward, but Nigeria flooding back. And now, well, it could have been a counter. It's a heavy touch from the debutant Christian Akpang. Ruben Diaz did well to save the day and keep the ball in. Obviously, Portugal have World Cup thoughts and plenty for which to play, and players trying to impress to stay in his lineup. I think Nigeria have been pretty impressive considering they don't have those factors at play. Has made a run, not used. Trincão's got it instead. João Neves. Trincão again. One presumes that was meant to be a cross. Might even count as a shot on target. Diogo Costa yet to make a save of any real note, and it's nearly half-time, but that one has flown past him. If it's not João Neves dropping in, it's Vitinha to do the same. Neto bumped off it. Bashiru. The challenge Don't really get away with them anymore. Neto's fractionally in front of him. Delibashiru far more physical. He's at Lazio in Italy, Delibashiru. Was a youngster at Manchester City with his brother Tom. Currently at Watford in the English second tier. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Too much on it for Ronaldo. It's been a nearly half for the captain, hasn't it? And I wonder, given the upcoming workload, if we're going to see him get another chance in this game. He only played the first half last time out in the win against Chile. Couldn't do anything with that. He's had a header just off and a more presentable shot just off in his first half here. Young Akpan with the throw. It's coming straight back. Trincao. Is it a foul? Yes, it was, by Calvin Bassey. Pretty straight angle. What could he conjure? It's short. Width you'd think would be needed, and they have made an absolute mess of that. Here's Iwobi. Bruno Fernandes is now having to do the defending. He's not famed for his pace and strength at the back, but he's done all right there. Good job too after that free kick. Now he can try and start an attack from right back instead. Final minute technically of normal time, but there'll be plenty to add on. Nicely worked by most of the front line as Ronaldo spreads it. Trincao curls it, way too close to the keeper. As we move into minute 1 of 3. Akpan into Iwobi. Now they can find the space. This is Fulham teammate Calvin Bassey. And Yamaechi. I wonder if he'll come out for the second half. Treading a very fine line. Simon, not seen much of him. Gonzalo Inacio slices out the clearance. It was anything will do. And Didi invited for the second time. He has a pop from distance. This one wins a corner. Their equaliser lurks again. Delibashiru. Good delivery right into the mix. And he's got it back in. Bassi, Simon. And here's Adams. Two of them went for that, and the flag is up anyway as we go to the final minute of first half stoppage time. Good spot. Goal scorer had gone early. Now, Pedro Neto. The flag's up for that one as well. Nervous wait. Christian Akpang there. And another good decision. It's the kind you kind of expect them to let go and let VAR deal with if it needs to these days, but bang on. Spanish assistance tonight. He didn't give a corner, and Nigeria equalised 42 seconds later. That one might get a bit of scrutiny, or it would do if it was competitive. We've had our 3 added minutes. And indeed there is the half-time whistle. It was a good half, it really was. A couple of chances for Ronaldo, and a couple of chances for Akor Adams as well, and he took it to equalise the Pedro Neto opener. Plenty of smart, bright football from the Portuguese, as you would expect, but they are not winning, as you would expect. And this Nigerian team that has been improving from the moment it failed to qualify for the World Cup, doing a pretty good job in Leiria here. The half-time score is Portugal 1, Nigeria 1. week. Nigeria staying the same for now, and they have been excellent opposition. Samuel Costa of Mallorca also on in central midfield. Here is Thomas Araujo, one of the newer additions to the international scene. Just a 5th cap for him tonight. And a nice few gentle touches on the ball to get himself into the action. Here he is again. Renato Vega, his centre-back partner for now, but Ruben Dias and Gonzalo Inacio more than likely to be the starters in Houston a week from now. Here's Conceição. Nice timing of the pass there. Cancelo in at right back for Semedo. Nuno Mendes at left back. Diogo Dalot. What a hit that is. Not for the first time tonight. Duko Okoye is palming a fiercely hit strike over his bar for a corner. João Felix bang on target with his first touch. Scored a couple of games ago against the USA. With Ronaldo these days at Al Nassr. Cancelo takes the corner. Headed out by Ndidi, that's worth a hit. What a hit! Even better than the last one. João Felix asking the question, did it go over the line? A quivering crossbar, but no second Portuguese goal. He has come close twice within a couple of minutes of his introduction. That was ferocious. He'll leave that and breathe. Wow, that was close. What a hit. And lots of the ball was over the line, but apparently not all of it. A couple of blades of grass, I think. Seven changes became 10. Ronaldo. Oh dear. This really isn't his night. Slightly behind him. Just him and the keeper, in fact, keeping their places. He was onside. And yes, it was behind him, but maybe he should have had a touch. Something to work on. Three decent chances by his standards. Astonishing, he hasn't found the net. Portugal have started very brightly this second half. Here he is again. A lot of white in front of him. Conceição, calmly headed back by Onyemaechi, who has stayed on. Fresh attacking legs running at him and testing out that yellow card. Neatly done by Bernardo, you'd expect nothing else. Bassi has pinched it from Ronaldo. Nicely done. Great feet from the big defender. Looks like it's all over the line, but nope. That's what the technology's for. To Ndidi. Right idea, wrong execution. Nuno Mendes has picked it off. The other two Paris Saint-Germain Champions League winners getting the second half off. Nuno Mendes is brought on by him, reminding us all what talent they have at their disposal, Portugal. Winners of the UEFA Nations League last year. That particular title defence begins in September. Beat Spain. The native land, of course, of Martinez, via a penalty shootout in that final last year. Nuno Mendes, underlapping run. Strong defending again from Bassi. He's had to do that a few times tonight. Cancelo bending it in behind, and Ronaldo was waiting to flick the header in. Semi Ajayi got there first. Trying to find the gaps, Portugal, and moving it very nicely. Conceição. Cancelo, it's deep. Felix with his third effort in 9 minutes since coming on. Scored a couple of times when they opened up World Cup qualification with a 5-0 win over Armenia. Portugal finished qualification with a 9-1 win against the same opponent. Neves. Pulls this out. Cut out by Bassi. One back by João Felix. Dominant second half so far from the Portuguese. Feels like it's coming. Ivorian-born Eric Schell. Parents from France and Mali, played international football for Mali. Had a couple of years in charge of their national team pretty recently. Akpan. So too much of that to Nuno Mendes. Some big defending from Big Ajayi. Nicely done. Araujo to João Cancelo. It's good pressure defensively from the Nigerians. Portugal looking good up to a point. There's their number 9. A nation that not often been famed for having one. Not that Ronaldo's done a bad job of goal scoring over the years. But that used to be the thing. The downside, supposedly, even in their golden generation. Likes of Pauleta and Postiga. Always felt they had a 9 out of 10 team with a 7 out of 10 centre forward. Ronaldo here to Conceição and Wilfred Ndidi. Not for the first time tonight. Intervening in the nick of time. Ruben Neves scored a big goal in qualifying. Header in stoppage time to beat the Irish 1-0. It was his first international goal. His 67th cap tonight. We wondered if they might make some of these changes at the break. It did look like Abdelai Bawene was going to come on. Well, he is now. So too, Terem Moffi. Frank Onyeka, Zaidu Sanusi, and a decent debut, I think, there for Christian Akpan. Bawene coming on for just his second cap. There's Onyeka for his 45th. Moses Simon, well, his next cap will be number 100. Probably against Madagascar in September. Terem Moffi, the fairly well known to some of these players, because he spent, albeit not playing all that much, some time on loan at Porto last term from Nice. Ajayi going off at the back. There's another Porto player, a far more regular one, Zaidou Sanusi, coming up 6 years at Porto. Looks like Onyemaechi has moved to centre-half in that with Bassi. And Zaidou Sanusi here. And his preferred left-back. Iwobi. And he could turn. Here's Onyeka, promoted with Coventry City to the English Premier League. Was a Premier League player anyway in his time in West London with Brentford. Iwobi. Cancelo goes for the big crossfield ball, right back to left back. Nuno Mendes has controlled it nicely, but only for Bewene. Debuted last time out against the Poles. Gets his second cap. Ronaldo. Spotting a chance to catch them unawares, but they weren't unawares. Mechi spotted that pretty well. Adams making his run. Iwobi saw it but thought better of it. Rafael Onyedika of Club Brugge is on as well. He's a good all-action midfielder. Him finding Iwobi there. All behind Moffey. Ronaldo. Gonzalo Ramos is coming soon, maybe even now. Onyemaechi took a little risk in trying to pinch that from Ronaldo, but it worked and he drew the foul himself in the end. Quick thinking, wasn't it, Nuno Mendes to Ronaldo here? Well, no goal for the superstar of all superstars. Maybe he's saving it for DR Congo next week, and that completes a full outfield 10 changes from Roberto Martinez. And number 4 from the PSG crew gets a run out tonight, Gonzalo Ramos. Well, any game without a goal is a disappointment. Iwobi. To pull the trigger there, Moffey. 1 league goal for Porto and 1 in Europe, that's all. Didn't play all that much, in fairness, on loan from Nice, Terem Moffey. And he's up there with Adams as opposed to instead of him. Cancelo. High, tucked in. Very modern thing for full-backs. And Conceição's going to put the ball out of play here. Short. What happened to Chukwunadi there? Caught with a glancing blow from another internal run from João Cancelo. There's your answer. Hydration break. And a totally changed Portuguese outfield team. Getting the chat from the coaching staff. Brilliant international in his own time, Ricardo Carvalho, part of the Martinez staff. Hard to gauge exactly what would classify as success for Portugal, and how far without winning it would be, shall we say, tolerated. They are 5th in the FIFA rankings, for what that is worth. Nigeria, incidentally, 26, and Nico Adams, well, it's friendly. Here's the opening goal for Pedro Neto. Trincao and Dallo involved in the build-up. Nicely taken. Don't save those. And then the physicality, desire of Michael Adams. Debbie Bashiru got it to him, but it did come barely half a minute after Portugal were not awarded a corner when they should have been at the other end. As is often the case with friendly internationals, reams and reams of changes can take a bit of the fizz out of it. Should get going again now. Onyemaichi to Sanusi. And the fizz is back in the crowd too. Onyeka, nice bit of disguise. It was a tough take that from Moffi, in fairness to him. Bassi, that was confident. He had to get it right, he did. João Felix has now just booted the ball away, and we know what that brings. Yellow card. Don't think it was for the foul. It's for kicking the ball 60 yards downfield after the whistle went. One day they'll stop. And that's a well-timed bit of defending from Samu Costa. There's a moment there when you thought Onyeka was a favourite. Immaculate. Good job too. Goal kick. Braga initially, Samu Costa, but has been playing in Spain for a good while now. Promoted with Almeria and 3 seasons with Mallorca more recently. His problem is the competition in that central midfield. Bernardo Silva, Ruben Neves at the moment, Vitinha and João Neves before that. That's some competition. Costa here, the only Portugueser on the field who started the match. Hasn't actually had very much to do. Koye at the other end has made a few spectacular saves. Here comes Nuno Mendes with options. It's a bit in front of Cancelo and a bit behind Conceição. They've both had a touch now. João Cancelo bending it in straight onto the head of Bassi. That early Portuguese fire in this half. See if they can reignite it here. See again, quite an obstacle. Moffi. Still chasing gamely, Adams up top. Wouldn't be surprised if he didn't finish this game. A lot of movement off the ball from João Felix. Now Cancelo. Conceição again. Brilliant goal! We could all see that tiny gap. Francisco Conceição has just found it. And even the very best applaud. Little burst of acceleration, and there was a corridor to thread it through, and he did quite brilliantly. Portugal have their lead back. Let's see if they can keep hold of it this time. That is a beauty. Made some good stops tonight, Maduka Okoye. He had no hope with that, even without the traffic in front of him. And the Juve boy. His father, Sergio, was top player himself. He's now scored for his country for the 4th time. Not one in qualifying. Scored some Champions League goals for Juventus this season too. He's a fine player in his own right, and he's just shown you that there. Final 15 or 20 minutes here. Once again, Nigeria must come from behind. Chunking into the challenge there on Yamaichi, who has not held off at all since being booked, which is either brave or foolish. And they are making that point right now, both to him and to the referee here. Sissao had a little nibble afterwards, didn't he? Deep delivery, firmly met Samuel Costa. Onyeka's going to leave it for young Bowene. He plays in Czechia for Baník Ostrava. So they've had two debutant right-backs during the course of this international window, Nigeria. Bowene against Poland last week, and Pan tonight. Felix. Araujo into the goal scorer. And what a fine goal it was. Renato Vega slips. Manages, one way and another, to clear up his own mess, despite the best efforts of Terem Moffi. That could have gone wrong. Plays in Spain at Villarreal these days, Renato Vega. Juventus and Chelsea prior to that, and Sporting Lisbon, as so many Portuguese young starlets are. Nadi making way here. We're going to see Onuachu in a minute, and he's a player you can't miss. There he is, Paul Onuachu. Mateus Nunes also coming on. Another good night at the office for Adams. Nuno Mendes played half an hour or so, one of the later ones to join the group, following the prolonged season of success again with Paris Saint-Germain. Very well tonight, Calvin Bassey. Put that one away a little cheaply. Now, any injury this close to World Cup time is potentially disastrous news for player and coach alike. Just watch Ruben Neves there. His Achilles got caught by Moffi. For a moment, he feared it was worse for him than it now looks. Beautiful first touch from João Felix. No foul is the call. Fans are complaining, he's not, in fairness. And he's on the ball again. He's going to get it this time, the whistle he wanted the last time. Difficult. The touch on the ball was from Felix. Sounds like sitting on the fence. I think some would say yes, some would say no, probably mostly no. It's only a free kick. By the way, Emmanuel Fernandez is on at the back for Nigeria. There's Ruben Neves. Chips one in. Nearly worked for João Cancelo. Bernardo Silva. Deep. Costa did brilliantly to get something on that. But most were expecting a header before it got to him. Makes the save quite a sharp one as well. Through the crowd, round the back of Onyedika. Koye's had a decent night. He wasn't initially listed amongst the substitutes earlier this evening. It's another one of the Fulham contingent on. Iwobi and Bassi. They're still in it, and in fairness to them, given that they have far less for which to play, they've put in a pretty strong effort. It's not been a turn up and stroke it around and jog rather than sprint. They've gone for it, Nigeria, and they've given this team a good test, and I'm sure he'll be pleased for that, actually. Far better than having 90 minutes against a team that really is playing as if they don't have anything for which to play. Koye out. Moracha is such a giant. Even if he doesn't win it first time around, he can second time around, but the more diminutive Portugueses have played it round him. The risk from Bawene, he's got away with it. Now Chukwueze. The pass is on to Moffi. Would have had to have played it blind, and now trying to dribble his way through. João Cancelo's done his job. Now Araujo's down, here's why. Well, that's in the seen them given camp as well, isn't it? Be a little unlucky there, Chukwueze. confidently done by Mateus Nunes. Here's Conceição. Nunes has kept on running. João Felix, and he's got options. Just didn't find any of them. Clever pass to Sanusi, but not from Sanusi. 3 minutes and stoppage time. There'll be plenty of that. It's a drinks break. And a zillion substitutions. Philip Otele of Hamburg about to be introduced for what little time remains from the Nigerian bench. Quite possibly for Iwobi, we'll find out soon enough. He might get another moment. A little special salute. 109th cap for Bernardo Silva here. 54th for João Felix taking over. He's had his 228th. Even for him. I think it'd be a stretch to say there'll be another tournament. So it's now or never for Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't it? Houston and Miami. They're 3 group games before it then gets more serious. You expect them to negotiate that, no problem. Group K. There's Otele. And indeed it is Iwobi. .100 not out, Alex Iwobi. Tele playing for the Super Eagles for just the 5th time. Out, nicely taken, but followed all the way by Onyemaechi. Here he is. Into stoppage time we go. Gonzalo Ramos hasn't had a sniff of goal since coming on. Well, there you go. That's a friendly amount. Could have been a lot more. I don't think either side really needs any more, though. Gonzalo Ramos, club and country, has to make do generally with being a substitute. I guess it's frustrating. Does well enough though. 10 international goals in his 24 games. Thing is, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the call Martinez has to make, and that is not an easy one. Onuachu called back for that challenge. João Felix getting involved, and Samuel Costa getting involved. It's he that was bumped and then pulled. He is enormous, isn't he, Paul Onuachu? Playing in Turkey these days. Trabzonspor, formerly of Southampton in the Premier League when they were. Chukwueze doing his job, tracking back. The ball is where Portugal need it for the win. Long throw was a dangerous one, and a very calm header on Yamaichi. Saidou Sanusi still putting it all in the 93rd minute. Otele, Bassi. They've got 2 minutes to score a goal, Nigeria, and keep a good unbeaten run going. I think the coach and fans should be pretty pleased with how they've played here. Sanusi got the ball, but he's also going to get a card because he got Conceição fractionally before. Ruben Neves trying to get on with it, but that'll come back. Well, in international football, I guess that counts as a high foot. Caution for it, offside. Reckless, apparently, from Saidou Sanusi. It's another eagle-eyed call, that, isn't it? Now, with Frank Onyeka caught, it's time to send it up there, I think, for Nigeria. Yamaichi went on a mazy run and lost it. Here's Conceição, looks set to be the match winner here. A check of the watch. We've had our 4 minutes. Bernardo Silva will wisely keep it. And Portugal will head west with yet another victory. Much will be expected of Roberto Martinez and his team in the Americas. And a week from now, they kick off in Houston against DR Congo. Then it's Uzbekistan in the same venue, and Colombia in Miami. For Eric Schell and Nigeria, it's a summer off before the AFCON qualifiers start again. They've played pretty well here tonight, in fairness, and got level and were level for quite a while. Neto's goal cancelled out by Adams, but a beauty from Francisco Conceição sends the Seleção off west with victory. Portugal 2, Nigeria 1.